Hey guys, this is Jana. Thanks for tuning in. This is the first video of a two-part series. So this first video is going to go over the technical side of setting up the integrated version of Gradescope with your Blackboard course in the ASU environment. And the second video is going to go over some instructional design best practices for setting your students up for success using Gradescope in your class. So first I want to kind of talk to you a little bit about what I mean by the integrated version of Gradescope. Some of you may have already been using Gradescope in previous semesters, but those of you who have been using it on campus have been using a version that was not integrated with our Blackboard learning management system. So it probably involved some manual work, which meant kind of importing student rosters and downloading grades, importing them back into your Blackboard Grade Center, asking your students to set up a separate account if they wanted to view their feedback within Gradescope, that type of thing. So the good news is now that we have the integrated format of Gradescope, you can push those grades back to your Grade Center just by hitting a button as opposed to actually downloading and manually uploading. And you can allow your students single sign-on access to their feedback just by clicking through from your Blackboard course. So it should be really easy, really convenient for everybody. And the setup to get this up and going is also pretty easy, which is great. But it's pretty deliberate, so I want to make sure we go over that, and you should be set up and ready to go. So we'll go ahead and get started. All right, as you'll see here, I have this demo course set up in Blackboard so you can see how Gradescope works. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually add the Gradescope link on this page right here that says instructor only. Many of you may have set up pages like this if you're a team teaching a class. This might be a place where you keep answer keys. And I think this is the perfect place to add your initial link to Gradescope. Because it's a place that's not accessible to students yet. You can make sure that you get Gradescope all set up however it is you want it before you push that out to students. So the first thing you'll do is go under Tools, and you're going to go over to More Tools, and then you'll see Gradescope listed right here. So you can see that link there. I always, for accessibility purposes, like to change my link colors. If any of you have worked with me, you know that I'm kind of obsessive about that. And I'm also pretty big on instructional text, so even though we're just setting this up as a test, I'm going to go ahead and add something here for that as well. So I'm just writing, use this link to access the courses, Gradescope, environment. And you know, if you've worked with me, that I never leave anything in size 12 font, so we'll bump that up. Sorry, we'll scroll down. I'm going to go ahead and say this is not available, even though obviously instructors on the page can see it, but again, keeping in mind that at this point in time, we're not making it available to students. So you'll see here, great little link for Gradescope. And the page is hidden from students right now, as is this link. You can see right there. So I'm going to go ahead and click into it. So you'll see it's taking me out to this LTI page. And then we get this nice message that says, select a Gradescope course to link to this Blackboard course. And it's already got this one identified for me because I clicked through from my course. And so we are going to say, link with a new Gradescope course, right? Because we're not going to link from an existing course. This is a brand new course. So we're going to say link course. All right, so here we have it. I don't need students to enroll via an entry code because they will be enrolling when they click the link from the course. And so let's see if let me pull this. So now I'll say, looks like all of that is good. I'll do update course, right? So let's see. Now it's telling us our things to do are to add students or staff to your course from the roster page. Right, so it looks like I am the only one here, and I'm going to say sync Blackboard roster. Okay, and then I'm going to say sync roster, right, because I have my students already in my Blackboard course. And then maybe you probably wanted to uncheck that button that says notify students that they've been added to the course. So that may be something you want to think about, not sending them an email. I probably should have not done that. But you can see here I've got my roster for the class. And so if I go back to that dashboard, that initial one, now it's saying my things to do to create a first assignment from the assignments page. So I can get to the assignments page by clicking here. I can also get to it over here. So I'm going to go back to my Blackboard course. So again, we've got that link. It's on a hidden page. I feel like it's set up. We're in good shape. So maybe I actually want to put that link on a page that students can view. So you saw actually how I set this up over here by adding that link from this top navigation from a content area, right? Tools, more tools, and then Gradescope. But there are actually two other ways that you can also add the link. So one would be to do a tool link from your navigation, right? And so if I want to send students straight to Gradescope from the navigation, I can do that by going here. I can make that available to my students, and you see that added the link right there. So maybe I want to add that up here under my assessments, and you'll see if I click through to that, it's going to take me straight through to that Gradescope environment. But keep in mind it doesn't open in a separate window, so I don't know, that may be disorienting for your students, so keep that in mind. There's also a third way that you may want to add a link to Gradescope from your courses. So let's say you had a particular module within your course where you wanted to add a course link to Gradescope, so that would be another option. You can go here, you can browse and select Gradescope. Again, I'm going to change that link color because I can't not change it. And I'm going to add some instructional text that says, complete this week's homework assignment on using Gradescope. Right. Submit. So you'll see right here, now we've got this course link to Gradescope, and if we click through, we're going to go straight through to Gradescope. So now I have had a few people express concern about the students being able to see all of the other students' work in Gradescope. They were a little bit concerned about what they would actually have access to when they're in here. So I'm going to switch gears really quick and show you what that looks like from a student perspective. Okay, I am now logged into Gradescope as a student. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my Gradescope demo course. And you will see right here I've got that link to Gradescope that I made available in the navigation. You'll see when I click through to that, that now I'm in here as a student. I know it's kind of confusing because I'm also the instructor here, but you'll see that I have not released any assignments yet, so I can't see that. The roster is not available to me, so I do not see the other students in the class. All I can do then is view my assignments in here once I've submitted them, and then do regrade requests. So that's pretty secure. You don't have to worry then about other students seeing each other's work. Okay, one last thing. I am back here again as the instructor of the course. Just one other thing I wanted to stress to you. You know, a lot of times at the beginning of the semester, we really want to reward our students who want to get a head start and help them get set up in the class. So you might think it would be a great idea to go ahead and create a course announcement about Gradescope and telling your students to set up your account. And maybe you want to go ahead and do a course or a course link to it, and you think, oh, this is a great idea, or you decide to put the link up here, and then just direct them to www.gradescope.com. Stop. Do not do this. Don't do it as a course link, and do not do it as a link in the text of your announcement. Just resist this urge. Instead, you can do a course link to an orientation page where you have more information about Gradescope, but do not do the link in an announcement or direct them straight to the Gradescope website. The reason for that is that we really need the students to click through to Gradescope from your course. That's where the magic happens. That's how it gets all synced up with their account where they can have single sign-on. So please just, if you want to do that introductory announcement, which I think is a fantastic idea from an instructional design standpoint, go ahead and do that, but just send them to a web page within your course where you have more information about setting that up. Okay, and that wraps up this first video, which goes over the technical aspects of setting up the integrated version of Gradescope with your course. I hope it's been pretty easy to figure out. I tried to keep it simple, but sometimes when you start walking through these things, you tend to overcomplicate. So I'm sorry if I've done that or if you feel overwhelmed. Please feel free to give me a call, and I'd be happy to sit down and go over it with you or to answer as many questions as I can. And feel free to tune in to part 2 of this series, where I'll talk about some of those instructional design best practices to help your students get set up for success in the class.